Welcome to this look at new mods to Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. So this is kind of part 2 to yesterday's mod review of the 7th of February. These are the 8 mods that Giants dropped. So there were 22 in total. I was just concerned of overrunning on the mod review for yesterday. So I did all the other mods and these are the ones from Giants. So these are kind of ported over. I have opinions on that. I'm not going to go into, but anyway. So in front of me, we've got the Krampe SB II 301070. All of these are by Giant Software, so I don't need to say who they're by. 4.85 megabytes download and 4 slots on console. And this is an old favourite returning. We do have in-game, we'll have a look actually in the menu first, under trailers. So standard in-game, they've given us the Krampe SKS 301050, which is a 59,400 litre trailer. So my initial thoughts are, well, why do we want a slightly smaller one? Well, we've got that one. There's a couple of differences. That one doesn't have a cover, and it's got the writing on the side, the NOI and 3-in-1, which you can't remove. Whereas this one doesn't have all of that. So on the end there, the SB2 301070, 84 grand, 58,000 litres. Now, weirdly, unless it was a different designation, the one we had on FS19 was 59,000 litres, wasn't it? Am I misremembering? Regardless of that, we can have a choice of Trelleborg, Michelin, Vredestein, BKT, back to Trelleborg, and in each of those tyre choices, there's no other options. It's just those tyre choices you can have on there, and then you can have a license plate, number plate on there if you wish, or you can turn it off entirely. That's up to you. So, nice, neat and tidy. 58,000 litres, triple axle. This does also, though, have an independently opening rear door, and it does have the bed that you can slide forwards and backwards. You can turn it on forwards, reverse it backwards, which means you can put other things in it, which I like that as an option now, because it means you can't strap things down, but you can do other things with it. So if I open the cover, you'll see I've got one of the sort of large-ish bales in there. L1 and triangle, I can open the back door independently of unloading. So this isn't like your usual unload. I can just open that back door. L1 again, it's got turn sliding door on. R1, it says tip side, sliding door forward or sliding door reverse I can have. Backward. So I've got it on forward. If I go to that one and turn it on, you don't actually see the belt moving, but whatever you've got on there, it will take forward. So you can put pallets and stuff on there, bales, all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. That's entirely up to you. Turn it off. If I then switch it to backward and then turn sliding door on again, it reverses it. And there's a few trailers in game like that now. This one has that as an option. It's not the fastest thing in the world. I was hoping it would be a little bit quicker, but that's all right. I'm sure on some of the other ones you actually you can see the belt moving, but there we go. Right, let's turn the sliding floor off. Close back door. And then tip options, if I'm going to unload, L1, R1, press triangle, and it should. Well, that's interesting, because that's saying... Sliding door forward, sliding door back. If I just do normal unload, the back's not opening. Is that because there's nothing in it? If I press it again, it is saying stop unloading, so technically that's unloading at the moment. Something's gone wrong. Because now L1 and left on the D-pad, the cover won't close. Turn sliding floor off. How weird. back door. Close cover. Okay, now it's working. Okay, that was peculiar. But anyway, maybe some issues with it, I don't know. Could just be me pressing the wrong configuration of buttons, but that's the Krampe SB II 301070. Next, we've got these two. We've got the Samson Agro PG2, we've got the PG220 and the PG225. 20,000 litres, 25,000 litres. These are slurry or digestate spreaders. However, they don't have a spreader on the back. You have a 3-point link, and then you put different attachments on them depending on how wide you want to spread. There are cultivators that do fertilising as well. So these two are kind of separate. The PG20 is 9.72 megabytes, the PG225 is 8.52. These are both 6 slots for the first one. Nicely detailed. We do have the PG235, have we, standard in game? So they've added these in to kind of fill out the lineup. So yeah, you can get an attachment. I've got one here which I'll show you in just a moment, just to hook onto the back of one of them. The smaller one, the PG220, has the side pipe which is adjustable out, so you can kind of have a more immersive loading or loading experience. And the PG225 has the one on the top, which I'll also show you the animation on in just a moment. These you'll find under slurry tanks. Yeah, so standard in game we've got the PG235. I knew we had one of them. So on the ends, 120 grand for the PG220, requires 200 horsepower, runs at 9 miles per hour, digestate or slurry. The PG225 is 142 grand, requires 250 horsepower. Same thing, 9 miles an hour, slurry or digestate. Options on these, we've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Vredestein, Nokians, and back. The knock-ins are narrows only. The Trelleborg, we've got wides or standards. Michelin, wide or standard. BKT are wides only. Vredestein, wide and standard. Back to the knock-ins again. And then you've got an option for a number plate. And that's exactly the same on the PG225. Same options, just a triple axle. Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Vredestein, knock-in on the narrows. I think it's the same that the BKT is wide only. Yeah, I do like the BKT treads on those. Very cool. So what we'll do is hop in this one first. It's quite scary to think on any sort of given day 8 mods would be quite a lot to be reviewing, and that's the surplus over and above. Anyway, on L1, right stick, hang on, right stick up and down. Hang on, let's take that way around. So right stick up and down does that movement, and then side to side does that movement. So I open it out first, all the way to there if you want, it's up to you, and then up and down. So you've got your animation of that. So if you go to your slurry tank and you want to have a more kind of immersive feel to it, you absolutely can, but you don't have to. It will just fill up as soon as you come up next to something. Anyway, it does also have top left under L1, activate double application rate. With slurry or digestate, you can do a double application rate, slows the vehicle down, uses a lot more obviously, but you can get both loads of fertiliser down in one go, which is rather handy. Beacon on the back, and obviously lights, indicators, all very lovely. And then the other one has got on the top on this one, L1 and right stick up and down, side to side, and at R1 we've got an extension on that, and we've got a sort of an articulated joint on there, so we can bring that right up if we want to. Hang on, let's get a better angle. And bring that down to a point that we're loading or unloading from. Again, to go for a more realistic feel if you want to. Nice smooth animations on those. Very good. Put that back into position. This has a beacon front and rear, or just rear? No, just rear on this one as well. But what we will do I'll show you what I mean. I mean, if you've used these before, there's nothing unusual or new about it, but if you're new to the game and you've never used one, you don't know what I'm talking about. So we hook up to another attachment, which it doesn't seem to want to do. It's not lined up properly. There we go. Then we unfold the slurry distributor. Now, obviously, under slurry tanks and stuff, there are all different ones. Slurry distributors, drag hoses, there's all sorts of them. But if I turn that on, drop it down, and away we go. So not only are we cultivating, and I'll bring the stones up as well, but we are fertilising at the same time. So that's how both of those work. I just went with the larger one because that was the one I was using last. Not sure what's wrong with Farm Dog today. I think he just really loves a slurry tanker. Right. Not that he's driving me mad or anything. Right. That's those. Next on the list, we've got the Kvandland, which was all the way over here. I'll get back to the other ones in just a moment. Actually, you know what? I might as well just done it because I'm over here anyway. Let's go with this. I'm going out of order on my list, but that's all right. Seriously. Okay, we've got the Kvandland Drill Maxi. This is 15.18 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. This is a 3-meter seeder. It's not a direct drill, so you will need to have ploughed or cultivated first to use it. Nicely detailed. It's got a 2,000 litre tank, if I recall correctly. You'll find it. Not there. Hang on. Under. Where are we? There we go. Seeders. The Drill Maxis 34,500 requires 130 horsepower to run. As I said, 3 meters wide. 2,000 litre tank. It only does seed, not seed and fertiliser, and it's a standard seeder. It does the seeding grain type crops. You wheat, barley, oats, canola, soybean, sorghum, oilseed, radish, the cover crop, and grass. Options available? There are none. You can just like that. Let's hop in, start it up. Cover open, L1 and left on the D-pad, which puts the ladder down to climb up to put your seed in. If you're going to do it by bag or however you're going to put it in, it's up to you. Turn it on, drop it down. And away we go. We are seeding to 3 meters. It does have lights on it, as you can see. Various different ones on the back there. Kvandland Drill Maxi. Next. I'm going to go right over the back now. We'll do these two last. We've got the Kvandland 85112. Catchy name, I think you'll agree. This is a Tele. It's 8.18 megabytes download, 6 slots on console. I think it's a 11 point something meter. I don't think there's any options on this one either, but you'll find it under Tedder's. 11.2 meters, yeah, 24,500 for 11.2 meters of goodness, 90 horsepower required, runs at 9 miles an hour. There are no options on it. It's a Tedder. It teds, it turns your grass into hay. Let's hook up. Nice smooth animation for the unfold and nice sound effects. Turn it on, drop it down, and it takes your grass. This one doesn't have a left or right adjustment or anything like that for keeping away from fence posts and that kind of thing. It just heads the grass. There we go. Kvandland 85112. Next up, we're going to do this, I think. Yeah, let's do this. We've got the Manitou. This is a mouthful too. The Manitou MLA-T 533 to 145V+. Rolls off the tongue. rolls off the tongue. 25.92 megabytes download, 9 slots on console. We did get the, what's it, Schaefer? The Schaefer telehandlers new for FS22, and I think as part of the lineup, whether it got missed or I don't know why any of these are coming later than being in the base game, but here it is. It's an articulated telehandler. I'm not always a big fan of the articulated ones. I find when you've got pallets and stuff on the back of them, because when you turn, that front can kind of, I say, whip around a little bit. They're not like that fast, but I have had things fly off the front. That's just me personally. You may be an absolute professional at handling these bits of kit. This you will find under vehicles, under telehandlers. Yeah, so right next door to it, we've got the Schaefer, which we got new in game, but there on the end, 106 grand is 143 horsepower, runs at 24 miles an hour. Slot count will come down from, what did I say it was, 9 down to 1. Options available, we've got Trelleborg, Mitas, BKT, under Vredestein we've got standard or standard 2. I think that's what I went for, the standard 2, because it looks a little bit different. But the other ones, you've just got the standard. There's no options within those. Trelleborg, Mitas, BKT. It's the Vredestein that does have an option. Then there's the license plates option, which of course I went for. Manitou, why wouldn't you? Those are the options on that, and it acts like the telehandler. Up and down on the boom, just on the head, then R1 for the extension. It's not a hugely long beam on that one. There's no beacon, I noticed as well, but we do have lights all round. These can be a little bit sluggish on the turn, so you just have to be cautious of that, especially at high speed. They don't always want to turn particularly quickly. There's no doors or windows that open on it. Interior, neat and tidy. Mirrors all over the place. There we go. The Manitou MLA-T 533-145V Plus. Next on our list, we've got these. This is the Kvandland iXter B18. This comes as kind of a little mini pack of its own. We've got the Kvandland iXtra 1100 Comfort. This is 1,100 litre front tank, which will do herbicide or fertiliser, liquid fertiliser, depending on what you're running. It does have lights in the front of it as well. It's not a huge size tank, but it's not designed to be. I mean, 1,100 litres is still a fair amount, but anyway. And then on the back, we have got the iXter B18, which is the sort of standard thing. Now, this goes up to, I think we can adjust the boom width on this out to 28 metres, I think. I think it starts at 18, then there's 18, 24, 28, I think, are the options. Nice, neat, tidy. There's a nice unfold animation on these, which we'll have a look at in just a moment. So, these you'll find under tools and under sprayers. I was right there, sprayers. So, the front tank there, 4,500 to buy. Slot count of 3 will come down to 1 for any subsequent one you get. No options available, you get it just like that. And then the iXter B18, 26,500, 1,800 litre tank on that one. Yeah, we can have 18 metres, 24 metres, or 28, which just adds the extra boom sections on up to 28 metres. I think I went for the 28. Adds an extra 14,500, 8,500 for the 24 metre, or standard at 18. Those are the options on that. So what we'll do is we'll hook up. Now, one thing I did find with this and the next one we're going to look at, I couldn't get these to fill up from the Buy Anything silo. Now, that's not to say they won't fill up from any of the Buy Anything type silos. I had to do these from IBCs, from pallets, because they just wouldn't. We do have lights in the front of this one, as I said. Makes life a little bit easier when you're spraying in the darkness. and then unfold. That's not a bad boom width, is it? What I do like as well, the detail on the animation here, and L1's, once it's opened, L1 and right stick up and down to raise and lower, depending on your crop type. If you're in corn, you want it right up high because you don't want to be knocking the heads and stuff off, sunflower, that kind of thing. But what I love is everything, the track, the cable. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So what we'll do, if I give himself enough room to get through that gap, maybe just... Now, the problem is, because I've got herbicide in this, it's one thing I've said a lot. Have I said it a lot? I've said it in my head. The one thing with herbiciding, when you're doing weeds, yes, you can see the weeds being killed off if you're actually doing it, but you can't actually see, there's nothing on the ground to show where you're herbiciding, other than the fact the weeds are dying as you're doing it. But that's just is what it is. So there we go. That's the iXter B18 with the iXtra 1100 comfort on the front, which brings me on to the last of the Giants 8, and it's the Kverneland iXtrack T4. This is 48. Oh, did I say? Hang on a minute. Woo. 12 slots for that. I didn't say, did I? And overall, 31.1 megabytes download those. Sorry about that. And then this one. This is 48.3 megabytes download, 28 slots on console, 4,600 litre tank, and this boom goes up to a 40 metre, which is rather impressive. Not bad tank size either. It's just the megabyte download and the slot count. I think it's the highest slot count on the ones we've got at the moment, I think, which we'll have a look at now. Also under sprayers, I'm just thinking, so that one's on the end there. We've got the Bird 2 there, which is 8 slots. The Hardy Aeon Delta Force is 19. I suppose that's up there. The Commander 17. So I suppose it is at 28. That's still up there, isn't it? Options available on this. We can have boom 18 meters, 24 meters, 28 meters, 32 meters, 36 or 40. Options of Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Vredestein. Back again under Trelleborg, we've got standards or narrows. Michelin, standard or narrow. Continental, just as it comes standard. And Vredestein, as it comes standard. So the first two, you've got the option of narrows as well. Those are the options on that. Let's have a look at the unload. This was exactly the same. I couldn't get this to unload from the binding silo. I had to do it from pallet tanks. But let's unfold L1 and X. And does this unfold the track on the tyres and wheels? I must admit, I thought that might open. But as you can see, not too shabby at 40 metres. That's quite impressive stuff. I've only got 4,000 litres in here, although it does do 4,600 because I did it for my PC, so I just did 2. Just lazy, just completely lazy. And then we've also got adjustment up and down on this one too. I didn't show it on the other one, which I should have done, but also part of the new FS22 stuff, we can adjust the width, so we can do partial width, we can bring it down. Now you can't do this left or right, but you can do it from outside to in. So if I do L1 and then press down on my R3, you see at top left, it brings each of those sections down and in. So when I spray, if I spray now, it turns on that middle section. If I press it again, close them down, close it down, right the way out to the full extent. So you can do that on the fly if you've got smaller sections. It's a pity you can't adjust it left or right, but that, I mean, that's still amazing compared to what we used to have. It's fantastic. There we go. Check over that as well, so you can see it. There we go. That's better, isn't it? So there we have it, the Kverneland iXtrack T4 both of those, I have to say, are fairly quick fold and unfold, or unfold and fold, depending which way you want to look at it. Once you get into the field, you're not hanging around. Rear steer on that makes turning a lot easier in tight yards and corners of fields and things like that. Very nice indeed. That's it for the Giants mods from the 7th of February. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.